offering most reverential salutations, adorations, and prostrations at the lotus feet of beloved Veda Mata, Veda Purusha, Bhagwan Sri Satya Sai Baba. Most revered elders, dear sisters and brothers, and loving children, Sairam to one and all. Thank you so much for joining for this beautiful, virtual, and spiritual satsang to come together and dwell upon the infinite glory, divine story. We are so blessed that the wonderful, humble soil of Africa is blessed with such a unique opportunity to spread universal peace, harmony, happiness, joy, and unity for all the continents to come together. Vasudeva Kutumbakam. The Ati Rudra Maha Yajna is such a prayer which the gods of the highest heaven wish to join for and shower their blessings. Abbreviation of Ati Rudra Maha Yajna is an army. And for army to happen, the soldiers have to be trained. And one such beautiful divine instrument, a flute in the hands of the Lord, is Sri Shekhar Bodapalliji, and his namesake says it all. He has coordinated, facilitated, and organized more than 7 Ati Rudras around the world, across various countries, Badrinath, Tiruvannamalai, Europe, Croatia, in the USA, Memphis. And he does not fly with the Delta Airlines or American Airlines from Sacramento, California in the USA, with a plane like the Emirates, but he flies with the plane of divine consciousness. As soon as the call comes, he doesn't use the will of the visa, VISA, but rather the divine will and sankalpa of SIVA, Shiva. And just like Hanuman will fly across mountains and oceans to light the city of Lanka, so too he spreads the divine fragrance and the divine light and luminance and brilliance of the Vedas. We are very fortunate, sisters and brothers, to have Shri Shekharji guide us, all of us, for this wonderful, unique, once-in-a-lifetime's prayer. Sisters and brothers, let us enjoy this wonderful satsang. Let us take note and let us take to heart just the importance and this very, very unique opportunity, gift and boon for us to experience this wonderful prayer on the African soil. We now hand over to Sri Shekhar Bodapalliji. Sai Ram.
Om Sri Sai Ram, brothers and sisters. Thank you all for taking your precious time to be in this satsang of Bhagwan's presence. We humbly pray to him to be part of this, to guide us, nourish us with his divine love. We'll start with the meeting outline today is to start with the opening prayers and then going through the discussion of the context of this yajna. What is the efficacy of this yajna as declared by Bhagwan himself, and the experience of manifestation of his presence through several yajna. And then we get into the Ati Rudra Maha Yajna 2024, brief outline of what Vedas for all is, what is the roadmap, what are the teams, how do we all get involved in this. And then we'll also have Swamiji, who joined us from the Arya Samaj, to share a few words of inspiration, and then we will offer it to Bhagwan in closing. With that, I request to lead us with the team prayer. Brother Samarth can start.
Om Om. Om. Sahana vavatu. Sahano bhunaktu. Saha viryankaravavahai. तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै. ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः. Let us all be together. Let us all be nourished together. Let us all work together with great vigor. May our studies illumine our intellects. May we not contradict or hate each other. Om, peace, peace, peace. Sayonara.
Thank you, Brother Samarth, for that beautiful chant. And the most important prayer for all us to come together under Bhagwan's divine guidance is this theme prayer. And the fundamental fact is that Bhagwan says we all should live together, learn together, love together, listen together, and laugh together. And therefore, it will create this beautiful positive energy of us coming together to conduct this beautiful offering. And if we are all in pieces, we can't pray for universal peace. So let us all be together through this satsang. And brothers and sisters, what is the context of this yajna? The context of all of this to begin with is the avataric mission itself. The divine eternal charioteer Sanatana Sarathi, Bhagwan Sri Satya Sai Baba, has declared that his mission to come down as the avatar is Vedodharana, Veda Rakshana, Veda Poshana. What these words actually mean? Uddharana means raising the awareness which is called Veda. Veda, the root word of Veda is vid. Vid means to know or to be aware. What is it that we have to know? What is it that we have to be aware of? To be aware of that. And that is the inherent divinity within. And the acronym for that inherent divinity within is same as I. S-A-I. So am I. S-A-I. This is the avatar's mission to raise the inherent awareness of knowing that we are that and that awareness. And Veda Rakshana is protecting that awareness. Rakshana means protection, protection of that awareness. And what is that awareness that you have to protect? If you're carrying R1,000,000 in a bag and traveling by a bus or a train in South Africa, you will make sure that that bag is under your head and that you are completely aware and alert to protect that R1,000,000 that is in that bag that you are carrying. So throughout the journey, you will be aware and you will be ever alert to protect that bag of R1,000,000. If R1,000,000 you are so much aware and alert, imagine how much you have to do to protect that awareness. And that awareness has to be protected by being aware and being alert. Therefore, it is BA, BA. Vedodharana is the same as I. Veda Rakshana is to protect that same as I by being aware and being alert. And then you expand and you nourish and you expand that awareness. That R1,000,000 you will do something to grow it more. And similarly, you protect that awareness and you nourish it, that nourish that awareness and you grow that awareness. through service, adoration, illumination, which is SAI, and that takes you to the ultimate goal of being aware and being the absolute, the being, the awareness, bliss, absolute, what is referred to as in Sanskritam Sat Chit Ananda. This is the avatar mission. This avatar's mission is to raise that awareness and to protect that awareness and to nourish that awareness. So, if this is the Bhagavan's mission, and this Bhagwan has existed as the human, the divine in the human form, and continues to exist in that cosmic divine form, what can we do to offer our love and gratitude for the coming up Shata Jayanti Mahotsava, which is the centennial, to offer our love for centennial. Centennial of Bhagwan is November 2025, and this Bhagwan's charming centennial is started in 2020 as a 5-year celebration when we did Sri Rudra Jnana Yajna for 52 weeks, beginning right at the beginning, starting on the Aradhana Mahotsavam of 2020 of Bhagwan Sri Satya Sai Baba in April 2020. After concluding that Jnana Yajna and also study of Devi Mahatmyam in 2022 of April, we offered the first Chandi Sahita Ati Rudra Maha Yajna at Bhagwan's lotus feet. And this last July in Memphis, we offered Chandi Sahita Ati Rudra Maha Yajna. And this coming April in South Africa, we will be offering the Ati Rudra Maha Yajna. And then same year, in next year in July during Guru Purnima, there is a Chandi Sahita Ati Rudra Maha Yajna in New Jersey. After that, there is going to be in the Shiva Shakti Mahakshetra. There are only 3 great places where there is a Jyotirlinga for Shiva and the Shakti Pitha for the mother, the Shakti. And one of them in the center of India is Ujjain, where Mahakal and Mahakali are present. So February 1st to February 9th, there will be a charm in Ujjain, and the grand centennial will be in Puttaparthi at the Prashanti Nilayam in November 2025. This is the beautiful celebration, and every year, and in fact next year, 2 times in the same year, we are offering this yajna at the lotus feet of Bhagwan Sri Satya Sai Baba. And without just a brief view of what charm is, charm stands for the acronym of Chandi Sahita Ati Rudra Maha Yajna, which is the Shiva Shakti Yajna. Bhagwan, as we all know, is the embodiment of Shiva and Shakti, the divine father and the mother, in one form. This Ati Rudra Maha Yajna invokes the Shiva consciousness by 14,641 types of japa, which is purification by chanting Sri Rudram, and Abhishekam, unification in offering our love to Bhagwan, and 1/10 of that is also offered in the sacred fire as the Homa. Shatachandi is 100 times recitation of the 700 mantras of Shakti extolled in Devi Mahatmyam, the glory of the Divine Mother, and 1/10 of that is offered in Homa. What is charm? Charm eliminates the harm. If you take the word charm and take away the C, then you have the harm. Harm from what? Harm from all the demons within us, expressed in various ways as Madhu, Kaitabha, Mahishasura, Dhumralochana, Chanda, Munda, Shumbha, Nishumbha, all these 9 demons that are Rakta Bija, 9 demons that are extolled in Devi Mahatmyam represents the demonic instincts within us, and eliminating the harm from them starts this fundamental transformation of knowing that awareness, same as I. The benefits of these yajna are immeasurable and incomprehensible at the individual level, at the collective level, at the creation levels, so that we realize the inherent divinity within us, from all the way from Vyashti to Samashti, to Srishti, to Parameshti, as Bhagwan himself has declared. In fact, Bhagwan during the 2006 Ati Rudra Maha Yajna in Puttaparthi has said, this Ati Rudra Maha Yajna has to be performed in several places in future. This yajna is everyone's concern. It is not limited to one country, one religion, or one caste. It is performed from the welfare of the whole world. If you continue to perform this yajna, soon the people of the entire world will become united. So it's the highest form of worship and a prayer for universal peace and prosperity. It propitiates the mother nature, also resulting in better human nature and character. So the yajna, as Bhagwan has declared, is open to everyone without any barriers of caste, creed, religion, age, gender, or even organizational affiliations. All are invited to participate. Now, brothers and sisters, you have to ask the question, what does Bhagwan mean that this yajna will benefit both the mother nature and the human nature? How do we actually know that that happens? What is the evidence? What is the proof? What is the logic? We have to ask those questions. And I have been engaged in asking these questions to Bhagwan ever since I started my journey with him on this Vedadhyayana, Veda study since 2002, 22 years of sadhana. And Bhagwan in October 3rd, 1989 has declared that when the mantras are offered as the havis in the fire of the yajna, so is the fire, such is the smoke, so is the smoke, such is the cloud, so is the cloud, such is the rain, so is the rain, such is the crop, so is the crop, such is the food, so is the food, such are the thoughts, so are the thoughts, such are the actions, so are the actions, such are the habits, so are the habits, such is the character. So when we often these divine vibrations that are energized by the mantras that we are chanting collectively and offer them into this fire, the rain that is brought from such fire will bring the food and transform the society. So the rain otherwise created is created because of the clouds formed by the pollution. But this rain that is showered upon is energized by the power of the mantras, which are not words, which are not sentences, which are not books, which are vibrations that are transmitted into this beautiful atmosphere. And therefore, brothers and sisters, that is how the yajna fundamentally changes the character of the person. And the character of the person is how the society will be represented. How the society is represented is how the country is represented. How the country is represented is how the whole continent will be. And so is the continent, such is this Mother Earth. So this is Bhagwan's inspiration to us. And know that there is only one and only one function for which Bhagwan will allow the organization to print in the local newspapers. And that was when he conducted the Veda Saptaha Mahayajna during the Navaratri. Bhagwan never invited anyone to his birthdays or any other functions. Bhagwan only invited and ordered the organization to announce it in the local newspapers and say, please come and join the yajna. Bhagwan would invite him personally for the yajna. So these yajna are Bhagwan's invitation to you, not by any individual. So how does these yajna bring changes in the mother nature? Well, I'll show this to you. This is the evidence. California had extreme drought for more than 5-6 years. And this is the drought map of California on April 5th, 2022. Look at this. Extreme drought and all the way to severe drought and across the entire California. 98% of California was in drought on April 5th, 2022. These are weather maps from the USA government. We conducted the yajna from April 11th to 16th. And in 1 year, Unprecedented rainfall not seen in 170 years happened in California. And this is the drought map on April 5th, 2023. 1 year exactly, the drought map. There is no severe drought. There is only moderate to abnormally dry condition. Only 8%, 92% of California is without drought. Now, obviously, you ask the question, how do you relate this to the yajna? How do you know that this is because of the yajna? It can be complete coincidence, absolutely nothing to do with the yajna. Well, the evidence is this. We started this journey in 2014 in Atlanta, massive rain before and after the yajna. We conducted in 2015 cloud burst. Entire Chardham was closed for pilgrims during the yajna, and there were 500 people on the hill, on the mountain at the Badrinath, and we had exclusive darshan of Badri Vishal for 11-12 days. Unbelievable experience that we had. In 2017, we did yajna in Tiruvannamalai. Tiruvannamalai did not see rain in 47 years during and after the yajna. And in fact, the auto drivers during the yajna refused to take payments from the devotees that attended the yajna, saying that they had seen such a beautiful, massive grace of yajna that has not been seen in Tiruvannamalai for 50 years, and the entire agriculture came to flourish. Just recently in Memphis, in July of 2023, Memphis was hit with a massive tornado that it had not seen in its history on June 25th. You can go do Google it, and you will see 600,000 homes across 4 states were affected. But the place where we did the yajna, Bhagwan protected all of us from a major catastrophe, and we escaped a major catastrophe and saved almost 300 lives that evening. These videos are present on the YouTube, and I don't want to take too much time talking about it. Now you get the point that these yajna unquestionably will have fundamental changes in the human nature and character, therefore societal peace and also universal peace, because the yajna will bring flourishment of Namo Rudrebhyo ye prithivyan ye entarikshe ye divi eshamannam vato varshamishavaste dasha prachir dasha dakshina dasha praticir dasho दीचेर्दशोर्ध्वास्तेभ्यो नमस्ते नो मृडयन्तु ते यन्द्विष्मो यश्च नो द्वेष्टितां भोजम्भे दधामि. In fact, an Ati Rudra Maha Yajna, this is the last mantra, the 11th mantra in the 11th Anuvaka of Sri Rudram, that the Rudras will bring food on the earth, health in the atmosphere, and rain from above. And this experience is unequivocal during all the yajna that we have performed to date. How does all this happen? It happens because of one thing and only one thing: Bhagwan's divine presence. All these yajna have been conducted since 2014 are all after Bhagwan's Mahasamadhi. But Bhagwan has not gone anywhere. He is 100% presence, brothers and sisters. Here is the evidence of it. This was his presence during 2022 charm. And we just finished completing the Homakunda painting and the names on the Homakunda. Bhagwan was seen, you can see here, leaving the Yajnashala right after the Homakunda were completed. And if you don't see that, please go to an eye doctor. You need help. That is his presence, 100% his presence. Well, you can say, well, this is all fluke. How do you know he'll be present during the other yajna? Well, same experience. This is the yajna conducted in Croatia, in a place called Kranjak, near Zagreb. And you can see this was conducted yajna in commemorating the Centennial Aradhana of Shirdi Bhagwan, and with also invoking the presence of the divine being, Jesus the Christ, in the yajna, because 90% of the people that attended the yajna were Christians, and they 100% and 85% of them are women, and they all chant Rudram so beautifully. It's an inspiration for many of us. And you can see here in the altar, on the invitation itself, Jesus was present, and this yajna for all religions. And even in the altar, we had the presence of Jesus, the Christ, right behind the Kalashams. One of the days during the yajna, we experience this beautiful presence of divine light emanating from the heart of the Jesus, showing that he was present and he will be present wherever divine consciousness is invoked. You see this, and during the yajna, one of the homakundams, we saw a footprint of Bhagwan. Now you may ask the question, this can be a devotee's footprint. It cannot be, because nobody will come out of the Homakunda. If a devotee is standing, it should be the other way around. And we saw the footprint of Bhagwan not only here, Vibhuti materialized in the area where we were dining, on the plate of Bhagwan and around the chair as well. And right in front of our eyes, right before we were doing the Chandi Homa, Kumkum materialized in Bhagwan's hands. You can see that zoomed there. So Swami will be present. Not only Swami, everything that will be present in the altar is blessed by Swami. We got this Omkareshwara Lingam, and this Bhagwan Omkareshwara will be coming to South Africa as well. And before the Lingam came from India, 2.5 kilos of Vibhuti materialized on this Lingam. And within the Vibhuti, there were 21 crystals now that are adored on Bhagavan Omkareshwara here in Sacramento. And Mother Chandi, Haldi materialized on Mother Chandi. You can see the beautiful Mother Chandi. And for Memphis, we got Shiva Parvati Murtis for doing the Kalyanam. And before they came, Bhagwan materialized Vibhuti on Bhagavan Shiva, and Haldi and Kumkum on Mother Parvati. The Saishwara himself that will be coming to South Africa from Sacramento, also Bhagwan blessed not only with Vibhuti but Haldi and Kumkum, because he is the Shiva Shakti. And on the day before Ganesh Chaturthi, we offered the invitation for army to Bhagwan Sri Satya Sai Baba. And on the invitation on Ganesh Chaturthi, Haldi, or the turmeric materialized. You can see Ati Rudra Maha Yajna brochure to Bhagwan, and the letter to Bhagwan, and also the invitation to Bhagwan. There was incredible materialization on Ganesh Chaturthi, and the lingam that is in the pile of this turmeric, and that lingam I have never seen before. Bhagwan's lingams are usually emerald green, beautiful sky blue, crystal, golden, etc. But this lingam has all the colors. And what do these colors represent? The colors of all the animals of the African continent, and the colors of the rainbow nations. So Bhagwan 100% will be present for the yajna. The question is, will you be present? Will you be blessed? Will you share this love? And will you expand your own love of Bhagwan to be able to share and care? Invite them lovingly. Doesn't matter what they belong to, no matter of question of faith or anything like that. All are equally blessed. That's the divine message we carry. Bhagwan's divine message is for all. And a lot of people ask me the question, sir, why are you spending all this money and all this effort to do this yajna? Wouldn't it be better to spend all this money for service projects? What is the total cost of this yajna? How much we have to, and all those hundreds of thousands of dollars we are spending, why don't we use it for doing service. And I'll share an experience with you. Before we did the yajna in Badrinath, as most of you probably know, 3 months before that, in April of 2015, there was a massive earthquake in Kathmandu, 8.2 Richter scale, and thousands of people, thousands of homes collapsed. Hundreds of thousands of people were displaced. The only place that did not even have a crack in the wall in the center of that city, Kathmandu, is Pashupatinath temple. And in 2013, there were massive floods because in Kedarnath, that washed away. If you watch the video footage of that 2013 in Kedarnath, and I have actually shared those links here, but I won't show it to you because it's not for people who don't have a strong heart. Bhagwan came in my dream in April of 2015 and asked me, "Why are you doing this yajna in Badrinath?" I said, "Swami, it is to commemorate your 90th birthday." Then he said, "No, no, no. Don't worry about my birthday and all. I don't need birthday celebrations. You are doing this yajna because you're doing it as a service." I said, "Swami, a lot of people ask the question, how is a yajna service? How is Ati Rudra Maha Yajna a service?" Swami said, when you go do service, you give food to people, you give clothes to people, you give shelter to people. But do you know these people in Badrinath, in Kathmandu and in Kedarnath, for years to come, they will still have the fear in their hearts. And they won't be able to even go inside and sleep peacefully. How do you do service to the minds of the people that are afflicted with fear? Fear of natural calamities, fear of COVIDs, fear. Just on September 11th, 2023, 2 dams collapsed and 1 billion cubic feet of water, completely 25% of city of the town of Derna disappeared. On September 8th, Morocco earthquake, 3,000 people died and they're still counting for the missing. 2 years of COVID and the after effects on the humanity still unknown. Swami asked, what is the service you can do to address the fear in the minds of all these beings that are devastated? And then he said, that is Rudram. And in the Rudram, first Anuvakam, 6th Rik is Adhyavocha Dadhivakta Prathamo Daivyo Ahigascha Sarva Anjam Bhajan Sarva Aschayatu Dhanyaha. The meaning of this mantra is Adhyavocha, supreme statement, Adhivakta, by supreme statesmen, Prathamo Daivyo, first among the divine beings, Bhishak, the healer and the doctor of the whole universe. And his promise and assurance is that I will protect you from all the things that harm you, that you know that harm you, that you do not even know that harm you. So this is what a yajna does. This is what Rudram does. It is a service to the minds of the people. It is not a ritual. It is a service. Devotion is service. Service is devotion. You serve with devotion and you devote in service. And therefore, this is not a ritual. This is a service project. And therefore, with that context and the understanding of the benefit to the human nature, the mother nature, and that it is a service, and wherever people are served, Bhagwan is assured to be present. Now we get into this beautiful event that is going to happen in South Africa, in Durban, in April. So I hope and I pray most of you have taken the time to look at the brochure and also to look at the yajna. This is the first ever on an African soil, the only soil on which Bhagwan has set his foot on outside of India. It is the yajna that is being offered by devotees of Bhagwan Sri Satya Sai Baba from all over the world, and it will be officiated by priests who conducted the yajna in his physical presence in Chennai and also in Puttaparthi, and all are invited to join without any barrier of caste, creed, religion, gender, faith, age, or even affiliations. Erase all of that, brothers and sisters. If Bhagwan is coming in person to inaugurate an ashram, to inaugurate a shelter, to inaugurate a temple, we will all run to have his darshan, sparshan, and sambhashan. That is the attitude and the aptitude and awareness we all should have to be participating in this prayer for universal peace. Now, if you ask the question, why did Bhagwan set his foot only on the African soil outside of India? Why not anywhere else? You see, because it is not only the second most populous continent, but it is also the second most populous, harboring the most animal species on this planet. And it was so inspiring to me to watch all of them just recently in July when I visited Kenya and I visited South Africa. It's very obvious that these animals have prayed to him. Bhagwan, we can't come to Puttaparthi and have your darshan. Can you please come and give us your darshan? Therefore, Swami stepped outside of India to bless all these animals. We don't do this yajna just for human suffering. We do this yajna for the peace and prosperity of all the species, the 8.4 million species. For we share this planet, and if all of us, the Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam is not human. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam is Vasanad Vasudevasya Vasitante Jagatrayam Sarvabhuta Nivasosi Vasudeva Namostute. Vasudeva lives in every bhuta, every being. Mamaivamsho Jivaloke. He is the spark of divinity in everything. Aham Vaishvanaro Bhutva. He is the fire in the belly of every being. And therefore, we offer this yajna for all the beings in all the universe. And that means all the beautiful big five and the ugly five and much more harbored on this African continent. And this army is going to be conducted in a very beautiful venue. I fell in love with this place because of the serenity associated with this place when I visited recently. And you can see this is the River Range Ranch. And for those of you who want to connect it quickly, it's called RRR, the one that got the Oscar award for the first time in the history of Telugu movie or even Indian movie. So jokes apart, this place is there's a river flowing right next to it, beautiful lake there, very surreal atmosphere, and it has a full built commercial kitchen where I believe the Food for Life people serve 9,000 meals a day from this place, and it has a beautiful dining hall and also open land where we will have these marquees, as you call in South Africa, for conducting the prayers and also the homa. And it is 20 to 25 minutes to very good hotels. And this picture is taken by Sister Tara, who visited recently, and she took it from the top of the hill. And a temple is being built on the top of that hill, which will be inaugurated in January. So a temple, a river, hills, open land, and beautiful lake. This is Mother Nature. And from this place, we will send the divine vibrations to the entire creation and in love for the Creator. So people were asking the question, why are you doing it in South Africa? Why are you doing it in Durban? Of all the places, in Verulam in Durban. And I will tell you this. Swami doesn't want to conduct yajna in Beverly Hills and Hollywood. Swami wants these vibrations to be taken to the places where it is most needed. and from where it can be sent to the whole universe. Brothers, in 2014, we conducted the first army in Forsyth, Georgia, where centuries of slavery and human abuse occurred. Similarly, in the 2017 army in Krajnak, it was the epicenter of ethnic cleansing during the wars that the Balkan state went through for centuries. The African continent, as I already mentioned, is not just home to humans, it is also the home for so many animal species. And unfortunately, several of them are becoming extinct because of human greed and also climate changes. The second largest populous African continent is also undergoing many social and economic challenges. Within South Africa, I was in South Africa in 2010 and again visited in 2023. In 13 years, I can see the dramatic change in a city like Durban and Pietermaritzburg that have been affected significantly by social violence and riots. Many people leaving this place seeking jobs elsewhere, and parents sending their children to other countries for good education and opportunities. And within Durban, Verulam was an epicenter of unrest during 2021 riots. In fact, I was talking to my brother Dhiren, who lives in Verulam, and he was telling me how atrocious those riots were, and that people were forming teams to protect themselves and doing night vigil. This is a prayer for peace and prosperity of the universe, and particularly the African continent, South Africa, Durban, Verulam, and to everyone to whom this positive energy and an army of love of Swami to be taken into and spread. This is the reason why we are doing this yajna in a place like this. And if you are asking the question, it is inconvenient for me, it's too far for me, etc., just know, out of all the people, all the countries, 40 people are coming just from United States. 40 people, more registrants from United States of America than even Joburg or Cape Town at this point. You have to ask the question, what inspires these people? Why are people coming from Malaysia, from India, from United States to participate in this yajna? Just for this reason, to spread the love of Bhagwan. And for that, you don't seek convenience. There is conviction of Bhagwan's love. With that conviction, once you connect to that conviction, it's an unstoppable urge to expand. Therefore, you will, after this webinar, pick up the phone and put it on all your people and say, hey, a once in a lifetime's divine opportunity for us. It may happen again or it may not happen again. It's all His will. But it is happening now. What can I do? Well, this is the roadmap of this yajna. We started the journey in August with the Rudram workshops. And then we formed these WhatsApp groups. And in September, we started the enrollment. In October, the registration will close. In November, we will finalize the Ritwiks. And in December, we will start the 121-day sadhana by all the devotees in love for Bhagwan, and the army will commence on April 15th and conclude on 23. Well, all this information is on the brochure, which is also on the Vedas for All website. The venue details are there. There is an FAQ also that you can access. And this is the nutshell of the program. You can read it, and the beauty of this program is that we will also celebrate the Sri Rama and Mother Sita's wedding on April 17th afternoon. Sri Ramanavami celebrations will happen. Very beautiful opportunity to connect the mother Rama, the mother Sita and the Rama within us and unite them. And the grand finale on the full moon day with Mahapurnahuti in the morning, and in the evening we will offer Sri Satya Sai Satyanarayana Vartam, in which all the devotees and families can participate that are attending the yajna full time. And the yajna will conclude on 23rd, and on 24th most of the people outside of Durban area will depart. So one few words about the team, what the team that is happening. The acronym team stands for together everyone achieves more. We are much stronger when we are working together, not as individuals. This is a team event, and part of this team and helping us through this yajna is a non-profit company called Vedas for All. It is a non-profit charity. It's not an organization whose mission. It's not an organization, but it is a non-profit charity or company, as called in South Africa, to assist in the service of fostering Vedas and to help in making Vedas available, accessible, and understandable across all globally. And this is based on the fundamental inspiration and principle of Bhagwan Sri Satya Sai Baba, who during Ati Rudra Maha Yajna, the first Ati Rudra Maha Yajna, said publicly that it is Bhagwan's wish that Vedas should be learnt and practiced in the daily lives of all of his devotees and more across the globe. So Vedas for All is sponsoring this project, and therefore a team has been in place called Army 24, and Vedas for All is going to be fiducially responsible for the project, including taking care of permits and things of that nature. So the team has various components, and this team will work with Vedas for All. The team will be responsible and accountable, and Vedas for All helps with the steering and consulted and informed regarding accounting, regulatory, permits, event insurance, and things that are required from a point of view of regulatory and other aspects. So that's the role of Vedas for All, and this team is working really incredibly hard, and there are various areas where the teams are working: operations of the yajna, operations of the site and logistics of the site, hospitality, administration. All these are major components of the yajna. And there are teams that are working extremely well already with site logistics, getting the site in place. And I have to tell you, it is Bhagwan's grace that makes happens, not an individual. It is Swami and Swami's love that makes happen. In fact, I'll share with you just what happened last week. And we were supposed to, we actually sent the contract to RRR site, and RRR site management, the owner, came back and said for 2.5 weeks, from April 8th to April 25th, that site is available to us free of cost. Not a single rand is charged for that site. Can you imagine? That is how Bhagwan inspires. And they allowed somebody to go in and do a shooting of the site just yesterday or two days ago. And it's full of love. It is nothing but love. And when things like that happen, you know you are simply a puppet in the hands of the divine, and he does everything, but makes you feel good that you are doing something for the yajna. And Sister Lekha is helping with site logistics as the team lead. Brother Kevin, procurement. Brother Pranil is helping with food and dining. We don't call marketing, it's called motivation. And communication is by Brother Neeraj. Brother Krish is helping with public partner relations. Sister Shirley is looking at hospitality, which is hotels and transportation. Brother Samarth is doing Ritwik coordination, and also training sessions for the Ritwiks and the chanters, etc. Brother Dharmesh is helping with finance and accounting. So I am extremely honored to be working with these beautiful people who are all 100% doing this in love for Swami and dedicating so much of their time efforts, energy, and already working on so many things happening in the background. I won't be doing justice to how much incredible love they are pouring in for Swami. So, how do they operate? A team leader is the one that operates. The team stands for trust, empowerment, attitude, motivation, with good listening skills, engaging with attitude of servitude, driving forward with empathy, and delivering the results. This is who a team leader is. And all of them are emulating this beautiful aspect of what is it to be a team leader? What is it to be even part of a team? So these yajna not only bring the devotion and love, it will teach us skills of how to be successful in a day-to-day life. If one emulates this principles in their daily lives, they will be hugely successful in their corporate lives too, in their day-to-day jobs. Just take a look at what these are. How is trust built? How is empowerment? Empowerment is always available to help, not to rule or micromanage or delegate task after task. You have to work in the background day and night. Pay attention to detail. That's how you empower people, not by ruling, not by micromanaging, telling people, you report to me, I report to you. That's all fine in your regular lives in governments and corporates. But this is an army of love. Army, you are recruited into army of love, not an army with a commander and a ruler. Jai Sai Ram. So the ground guiding principles of this team, we work with Swami's 5 Ds: dedication, devotion, discipline, discrimination, and determination. Dedication is love, devotion is focus, discipline is how you behave, discrimination, you take decisions by values, and you are determined to do things with a sense of urgency, not with complacency. Remembering that Bhagwan is present in every conversation and action, and knowing that these lead roles are opportunities of service, not of command and control, operating like an organism with love and agility versus authority and rigidity, focusing on the roles and responsibilities, guiding people to appropriate leads with questions and queries, and when ego comes, he goes. So the final part of this is, how do you get involved? Brothers and sisters, we are not doing any recruitment here. This is not a marketing webinar. This is really to share with you all how much love is already pouring in. As of today morning, 327 people registered, of which 270 are full-time registrants, of which 154 are joining as Ritwiks, 43 volunteers, 73 devotees. I really wish some of these devotees turn into volunteers, because then they will be able to serve. And what will happen? And you can see we just hit 199 from South Africa, the total full-time registrant. 38 people registered, as I already mentioned, from United States, the largest registration, actually more than what we have seen from Gauteng or from Western Cape. Please, people, if they're from Gauteng and Western Cape, ask yourself the question, what is stopping me from attending Yajna when I'm seeing more people coming from United States of America to be part of this Yajna? What is stopping us? What is bothering us? And if you have any issues, whether financial or otherwise, etc., please reach out to one of us. Send an email to info@Vedas for all. We have and we will continue to help people that have sincere yearning to participate and get Bhagwan's love, and he will show us the way. And at the end of the day, brothers and sisters, as I said, this is motivation. If you feel motivated, you can just scan this QR code on your phones right now, and you will be taken to the registration link. You can sign up as a volunteer, and we need a lot of volunteers, and know that everyone attending the yajna, everyone will be able to do abhishekam, offer abhishekam to Bhagwan and Omkareshwara and Mother Chandi, no discrimination whatsoever. However, the people that are joining as the Ritwiks are going to do 121 days of sadhana. They are going to do a they're going to sacrifice a lot more in their lives to be part of, as a Ritwik, and they only will be able to offer in the Homakunda the Havis. And that is the reason for it. I'm not going to go in detail with that. As I already shared, brothers and sisters, 250 total registered so far from South Africa, and I hope if you are a partial attendant joining this yajna, or you are not sure whether you should be there or not, pray to Bhagwan, and only those he wills will be able to step into the premises. Only with his will you will be able to participate. And finally, lastly, how many Ritwiks will be there totally? We have Ritwiks will be limited to 170. So, and then there is a process that we will go through after the registrations are closed on October 20th. I know a lot of people have questions about what to do in the yajna. Can I drink water during the yajna? Can I take a break during the yajna for restroom? All those things are answer is yes, they are all possible. But most importantly, a Ritwik is something which requires somebody who requires a lot more discipline and dedication. We will have the same principles how Bhagwan conducted his yajna. Men and women will be separate. All the principles of how we operate as Sai centers will be practiced here, including there is no public solicitation of funds. And in the context of soliciting, putting flyers for please give money for this cause, etc., or if you do homa, you have to sponsor this. None of that will happen. This is a divine offering, and if you are inclined and motivated to support the yajna, please send an email to info@Vedas for all, and we will really appreciate it. And also you can reach out to the leads on how you want to participate in various activities. Finally, um, I think this is all covered in FAQ. I'm not going to spend much time. A lot of people have this question: how can I be a Ritwik? Huh? You can be a Ritwik. A Ritwik is in a yajna is a privilege that is given only to the Brahmins that follow daily austerities and must have learnt Vedas, etc. But with Bhagwan's grace, since 2014, we have, because of the love of Brahmashri Nanjunda Dikshit, Professor Nanjunda Dikshit, who was the chief priest for Swami's yajna in Puttaparthi, and also chief priest for all the yajna that we have conducted until 2018 in Croatia. And he has very kindly allowed people from beyond any barriers to participate. But for that, you have to chant Rudram fluently. You have to commit to 121 days of daily Rudram chanting, Durga Suktam chanting, Sattvic lifestyle before yajna, and be physically present for all days of the yajna. And people say, well, I missed this bus. What can I do? Well, there are two more yajna that are going to happen. One in Memphis, another in Ujjain. You can start now. You can start learning Rudram. And if you are an expert already in chanting Rudram, you can also help others to do that. Go to this, scan this, and you can register to Veda study. We are just beginning globally to roll out Rudram all over the world with mentors that will help and support on a regular basis. With that, I think that is my last slide, and I will stop sharing. And I know someone posted 18 questions when we rolled out this webinar, and most of those questions are related to Ritwik participation. And if those questions are not answered yet, we will open up for the floor, and I request Brother Vyasa to moderate the Q&A session. And if you want to ask a question, kindly raise your hand and he will unmute your audio so you can ask a question. Oh, it's already 11 o'clock. Oh my God. I apologize. I took more time than needed, but we'll have 5-10 minutes for any burning questions. I will also go through the chat. If you want to ask a question, raise your hand and Brother Vyasa will unmute you. Stephen. Yes, sir. Stephen.
Om Sai Ram.
Om Sai Ram.
My question is, how important is it to know the meaning of the Vedams?
Yeah, thank you, brother. First do it, then see it, then be it. This is what Bhagwan said. Do it, see it, be it. So doing it is what is called Samskritam. The word Samskritam means doing it and doing it well. So if you start doing it, then you will have the opportunity to connect to the mantra and it will open. First, do it and do it well. And if you want to know the inner meanings of the Rudram, if you go to Vedas for All website, all the Rudram workshops episodes have been posted by Brother Vyasa, who had done an amazing job, and thanks for his service. And there is also a file, a PDF file, that describes the literal, the inner, and the spiritual meanings of most of the mantra. And you can, if once you start chanting fluently and perfectly, you can go to that next, and it will be a great. Rudram is a continuous learning process of lifetimes. Thank you for asking that question. Yes, Sister Savitri.
Om Sai Ram. My only question is that if people don't register by the 20th of October, can they just come in afterwards?
What we're trying to do is we want to finalize the Ritwiks a few weeks and start rolling out the sadhana, etc. Prepare from December for the sadhana. Before that, we want to also offer the list of all registrants to Bhagwan. And once that is done, yeah, we are not going to say no to anyone, but we want to keep a deadline so that we can plan the logistics and we can execute on all other aspects. Right now we have to figure out how many participants and how many full-time participants, how many hotels we have to book, their transportation. There are so many logistics aspects, so we don't want to prolong further than October 20th. Then if they come on their own, they can participate and at their own will. Jai Sai Ram.
Jai Sai Ram.
Right.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Sai Ram, Brother Shekhar, there are a couple of questions on the chart as well. One is, are there any low budget options for low budget accommodation, and can we use a tent?
Thank you for asking. I think Sister Shirley is going to help us with hotels and transportation. We are looking into all kinds of options. We will come back to you after the registration is closed, because that's when we will know who is coming from out of town, what kind of options we can look at them. The answer is yes, but we haven't started that work yet, because first we need to know the who before the what. It will be shared on the FAQs.
Yeah,
We will
and
update the FAQs. Thank you.
perfect. Maybe looking at the time, the last question on the chat, and I don't see any hands yet, is if you are not a Ritwik, then as part of general audience or devotees, will we be chanting simultaneously as Ritwiks?
Yes, chanting can be done by everyone. Please know that. However, in the context of the 14,641 times, we have to minimum meet that with the Ritwiks. So that means the Ritwik slots are capped at 170. The more we chant, the more the great. But minimum we have to chant 14,641.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. I think looking at the time, we also have Swamiji to give a
Yes.
talk.
Are there any other burning questions, brother, that we saw on the WhatsApp, either Neeraj or Vyasa? Yeah. Yeah, go ahead, brother.
Yeah, no, I think I think there are quite a few, but I think these were the most important ones that we have. Maybe one thing was Ritwiks. Will they be able to use their books if they're unable to memorize, especially the new
Yes.
learners?
Answer is yes, you can be a Ritwik, but you have to chant. You have to chant loud. Okay, this is a very important point. Lot of people, they don't even chant loudly. Veda is called Veda Ghosha. Ghosha means it's like a huge, humongous sound and vibration. If you do, if you are a Ritwik and you are chanting Om Namo Bhagavate Rudraya Om, looking at a book, that is not appropriate. You have to chant with Madhyama Swara, that means a medium tone, and everyone together should chant. And when you listen to that vibration itself, people that cannot chant or the volunteers, they themselves will be purified just by the vibration that is produced. So it is not words that you are chanting, you are not reading words from a book. It is not a book or a scripture as we commonly refer to. These are mantras that are divine vibration, totality of the sound. Therefore, learn them properly with proper pronunciation, intonation, everything. And there are trainers that are working with you, etc. We will assign them and we will help. Hopefully, before the yajna, you will be putting away the book and chanting from your heart. By heart, they say, not by head. Jai Sai Ram.
Sai Ram, Sai Ram. I think we will stop at that, Brother Shekhar, and request. I think next
Brother
topic is
Krish, Brother Krish to introduce Swamiji, yes. And Swamiji, if you don't mind, please open your video.
My
Please
most
open your-
humble salutations at the lotus feet of Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba. Greetings and Om Sri Sai Ram to all. I am Krish Maharaj and I am the partner and public relations lead in the Ati Rudra Maha Yajna team. The army team has extended invitations to spiritual organizations across the country, and many of whom are members or affiliates of the South African Hindu Mahasabha. One such organization is the Arya Samaj of South Africa. We are blessed to be addressed tonight by the spiritual head, Swami Vedanand Saraswati Ji. Swami Vedanand Saraswati Ji is not only the spiritual head of the Arya Samaj South Africa, but he is also the co-founder and current head of the Sannyasa Spiritual Council of South Africa. And thirdly, he is the head of the Arya Samaj Vedic Sannyasa Mandal. Swami Vedanand is a young and dynamic sannyasi who has, in a short space of time, made a deep and powerful impact in various communities, including interfaith, and is a member of 2 international interfaith organizations. He initiated and co-founded the establishment of the Sannyasa Spiritual Council of South Africa, bringing together the sannyasis of all the different institutions in the country. He had the blessed opportunity to be invited as chief guest and addressed many conferences, seminars, and summits, both Hindu and interfaith, based in Canada, United States, India, Ecuador, Kenya, Uganda, Mauritius, and South Korea, to name a few. On behalf of the Vedas for All and the Ati Rudra Maha Yajna team, it is a pleasure, honor, and a blessing to extend a Sai welcome to the proponent of Vedas in action, Swami Vedanand Saraswati Ji. Swamiji, over to you.
Jai Sai Ram to all my divine embodiments of peace and love. Unfortunately, I can't start my video. I think part of the hosting is not allowing to go through, but that's okay.
1 second, Swamiji. We'll enable the video sharing. Yeah, now you can.
ठीक है. ठीक है, there's it. Jai Sai Ram, all divine embodiments of peace and love. Brother Shekharji, I must say that Bhagwan speaks through you. If by now nobody would be convinced and be inspired to participate in not only the Ati Rudra Maha Yajna that is going to take place here, but right up to Prashanti Nilayam, I think it's a blessing and an honor to have heard you and to equally have been inspired by you. You know, it leaves little to be said because you've said so much so powerfully. as Swami has said and enunciated for his entire life. The power of the Vedas, the power of mantra, and most importantly, that it's not just about the recitation, but from the recitation, becoming the mantra, becoming Ved, realizing the oneness that we are with that Almighty Divine. And my prayer is that each and everyone that is participating and that will be part of this army clad in white, this army clad in purity, this army clad in the hope and realization to change the dynamics of a world that is suffering, a world that is going through so much of turmoil. We are the solution to the challenges that we face. You know, as sannyasis, much of our practices and sadhana goes into the deep understanding of the movement of energy, the movement of mantra in its vibrational form, in its transcendental form. And whilst I know out of the 200 participants that are here right now listening to us, they would have seen the physical effects of this great Mahayajna. But what I can say with all conviction, and I know Shekharji, Brother Shekharji, you can back me up on it, that the vibration that moves throughout for kilometers, that the ordinary person will not be able to see, transforms in ways that goes beyond even the explanation of. Right now, as we speak, from 2018 right till now, there has been such a development worldwide, let alone in South Africa. We in South Africa know in these past 2 years, let alone the riots, let alone the states of the different disasters that we had with the flooding, etc. We are in a state where we don't know where to turn to next, whether it's as races together, as a multicultural community. I looked at this lingam and I see the rainbow nation. And I cry to Swami and I say, Swami, we don't know whether this rainbow nation is going to hold. Let this Ati Rudra Maha Yajna, just as all these colors are bounded together through this lingam, let this yajna bind us once again. Whether it's those that don't understand a word of Sanskrit, but let that vibration enter the cosmic sphere of their mind to change the dynamics, change the mindset, and bring the much needed peace and collective union that we need. That is step one, and that is locally. But globally, we all know that we are all in a state of not just physical war between the countries, but mental war. So we pray that this yajna specifically brings everybody's hope, everybody's righteous desire, and everybody's prayer to come collectively, set our differences aside, and collectively chant this beautiful mantra that is, you know, it's not incidental that it's chapter 16 of the Yajurved. Yajurved is the Veda of action, dutiful action. Sri Krishna speaks about dutiful action, giving off as a service to others, not just for the realization of the self, but so that each and every soul outside of us equally realizes. As you said so beautifully, it is not just chanting, it is not just a ritual, but it is a service from one to another, a service to enlighten each other, to enliven each other, and make our hope a reality. So I am with you more than you can imagine. I'm not even going to say 100% because I'm with you completely. And I will make sure from the side of the sannyasis and to all that we may reach, that we come together, not just support, not just be a part of, but synchronize with the vibrations during this entire yajna, so that it truly vibrates from Verulam to Durban to KwaZulu-Natal to South Africa, to Africa, and to the world. And that we know, not just believing, we know the presence of Divine Swami will be there, shining, echoing, and giving that transformational bliss to all that are a part of it. Because Vedas is for all. Vedas came to us at the dawn of humanity. It is the answer to all our problems and our challenges. It is there to create the ideal human being. And right here, right now, we have the gift, the blessing by Swami to be able to chant these sacred mantras and enliven Vedas once again. So with all the love, light, and peace of my heart, I'm excited. I'm ready to march and chant with each and every one of you so that this yagya truly becomes the Jyoti of Africa. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Jai Sai Ram.
Jai Sai Ram Swamiji, that's very, very inspirational. Thank you. And as they say in Zulu, Siyahamba kukwaneni kwenkos, Siyahamba kukwaneni kwenkos, Siyahamba, Siyahamba, Siyahamba kukwaneni kwenkos. We are marching in the light of God. We are marching in the light of God. May the divine light be
Amandla,
shining.
Amandla.
Thank you, Swamiji. Brother Kavir, who is doing the vote of thanks, and before that, after that, we will do the prayer to Bhagwan and closing prayers.
Sir Uncle Shekhar and Swamiji, thank you both so much for a tsunamic and oceanic inspiration for us all. I would like to pass on to Sister Lekha.
Before you do that, I have a humble request. All the team leads that are on the call, can you please open your videos if you can, and if you're not in load shedding, and all of you probably cannot because you're panelists, but yes, kindly show your faces to everybody as a team. We don't need to be in black boxes. If you can open your videos, yes. Oh, load shedding. Okay, no, not. I'm asking only the team leads, Neeraj and others. Yes. And before we close with the prayers by Sister Lekha, this Sai Gayatri is the essence of everything that we are talking about. Sai Ishwarai Vidmahe. May we know that this same as I, S-A-I, is the being within us. May we all retain, sustain that same as I, so am I presence as the light shining within us. Satya Devaya Dhimahi. And may the light that is shining within us expand in sharing and caring all around us. Tanna Sarva Prachodayat. This is the meaning of Sai Gayatri. The meaning is the same as I becomes so am I and expands as service, adoration, illumination in being, bliss, awareness, absolute. Jai Sai Ram. So Sister Lekha, I'll share the screen. And with all of this that we are doing today, may we always remember that Bhagwan is the cause, he is the doer, he is the doing, he is the done, and he is the undone. May we pray that he allows us and shape us to be perfect instruments in his sublime divine mission to love all, serve all through Vedodharana, Vedarakshana, Veda Poshana, Vedadhyayana. Jai Sai Ram. Sister Lekha, please.
Loving Sai Ram, everyone, and thank you so much for joining this call this evening. I have the pleasure of passing the vote of thanks this evening. So I think at the very outset, gratitude to our Bhagwan Sri Satya Sai Baba. It is his will that we have all been able to join this webinar this evening. Thank you, Swami, for this week, which has been so filled with so many amazing miracles which have been shared by the core team, but also just devotees who have made up their minds to join this offering. And it is by no means without his will. Everything only happens with his will. We dedicate this entire event at Swami's Lotus Feet, and we ask that he always be with us to guide us and to help us along the way, but most of all, to smile over us and to keep his hand over us all the time. Thank you, Brother Shekhar, for all the motivation and commitment in guiding this entire event. especially guiding the core team. It's not without challenges, but very simply, you provide a solution with so much of humility and love that one cannot help but listen to you and follow you. And then going and also to helping all the training teams, to helping everyone that needs your help. So thank you, Brother Shekhar. We're totally indebted to you in that regard. Swami Vedanand Saraswati ji, it was so nice to hear you speak this evening with all your amazing energy and just knowing that you're there with us. I've often had this vision. I haven't shared it with too many people, but Swami's always come to me dressed in an orange gown, sitting on a white horse, and behind him there's always been this army, a sea of white dressed people. I think that's us now. I think we're ready for this, and to have all of you behind us makes this such a reality for all those dreams that we've all had going forward. To the core team, thank you very much for putting together this webinar. It's been something that we had just decided to do, but we understood that everybody needed to know a little bit more about this event, and we're so thankful that you've made an opportunity and made the time to come join us this evening. I think importantly to note, and I'd be failing in my duty if I didn't say a huge thank you to Vedas for All, especially Brother Kavir, who sets up these sessions so early every morning. And Brother Shekhar and Brother Samart, I must tell you, just listening to the chanters in the last 3 weeks, something has really happened. You are going to have such a difficult time actually choosing these Ritwiks, because the quality of the chanters over the last few days has been phenomenal. And I think it's with Swami's grace, obviously, but the commitment, I think, from the participants has been exceptional in making this a reality for us all. And of course, thank you to all the attendees for this evening. Without you, there would have been no webinar. Without you, there would be no event. So thank you very much for making this opportunity and listening to the webinar. And there are going to be very many more coming through. So please be part of us. You know, the team is not only the team leads and the team that you're seeing, you're part of the team. Your hands are needed without a doubt. So I think without further ado then, let's close with the prayer, as Brother Shekhar has put up on the screen. And please, you're most welcome to chant the closing prayer as a team with all of us. Om Sai Ishwaraya Vidmahi Satyadevaya Dhimahi Tanna Sarvah Prachodayat. Om Sai Ishwaraya Vidmahi Satyadevaya Dhimahi Tanna Sarvah Prachodayat. Om Sai Ishwaraya Vidmahi Satyadevaya Dhimahi Tanna Sarvah Prachodayat. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
जय बोलो भगवान श्री सत्य साई बाबा जी की जय।